Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. Scott Luton and Kevin L. Jackson here with you on Supply Chain Now. Welcome to today's live stream. Kevin, how you doing today?
I am in fall. It's autumn. It just went from summer to autumn. So
Well,
I'm doing
hey,
great.
we have not had temps in the 90s in like 15 days. So I'm knocking on wood. I welcome the cooler weather. I think we all do.
Hmm.
And now I'm not a pumpkin spice person, Kevin. I'm not sure if you are. Are
Oh,
you a
I love
pumpkin?
pumpkin spice. They just started in Starbucks. We got new pumpkin spices in Starbucks, baby.
All right, we got to take a poll. In fact, that's the next poll I'm going to do on LinkedIn. Are you a pumpkin spice person or not? We shall see. T Squared is enjoying the fall slap has commenced. He says
Oh, slap.
he's up in the Baltimore area, and he says bring on that supply chain management, reverse logistics, nourishment. Great to see you here today.
Ooh.
Hey, the Citadel Bull via Twitter is here with us. Hey, good morning to you as well, and let us know where the rest of y'all are tuned in from. We welcome your thoughts and perspective throughout today's buzz. All right, so Kevin, no more time for pumpkin spice. We got a big
No,
show
no,
here
no,
today.
no, no. You know, one other thing.
Okay,
It's NFL, baby.
it has begun. It has begun, and of course, the Falcons started with a rough offensive game plan and a loss. So we'll
Yes.
see.
Commanders lost again too, but to get Tampa Bay. But hey, what can I say?
Well, let's talk about the buzz. So, folks,
Yes.
as y'all know, every Monday at 12 noon Eastern Time, we discuss a variety of news and developments across global supply chain and global business. And the second Tuesday of each month, it's the Digital Transformers edition of the buzz, where Kevin's agent allows him to stop by and spend time with us. And we tend, of course, to focus a lot more on technology because we've got one of the world's foremost technologist here with us, and Kevin L. Jackson, host of the Digital Transformers series, which is available wherever you get your podcasts. Now, okay, looks like Pumpkin Spice is going to be with us throughout the show here. This is Amanda, I think, says, I like a pumpkin spice latte each year, but I'm not totally obsessed with it. But I did make some pumpkin bread over the weekend. That
Okay.
was pretty
Okay.
delicious.
Good. That's good.
Okay, you a fan of pumpkin bread, Kevin?
I expect to see some mailbox here soon, or maybe Amanda's going to send me a drone.
Oh man, okay, we'll check it
I'm-
out. I gotta check our inventory levels, okay?
All right.
Um, but folks, we got a lot to get to today, far beyond pumpkin spice. We're going to be giving a manufacturing industry update. We're going to be giving some tips for manufacturing leaders leading digital transformation, startups. We're going to name a few that are making their presence felt in factories
Mhm.
everywhere, and the exploding TMS market, all that and much, much more. Two quick things before we get going here. First off, just like T Square, just like the Citadel Bull, there's a story there with that handle name. Just like Amanda behind the scenes, thanks Catherine as well. Hey, give us your take in the comments and let us know where you're tuned in from, whether it's whether you're in Spain or California or Canada or down in Brazil,
Down
wherever
under.
you're tuned in from. Where's that, Kevin?
Down under.
Yeah, that's right. Down in Australia. I was just talking with someone earlier that spent the last week or two there. But regardless, if you're tuned in via LinkedIn, YouTube, X, Facebook, Twitch, no matter, let us know what you think. And secondly, if you enjoy the show today, we'd love for you to share it with a friend or your network. They'll be glad you did. All right, Kevin, we got a jam-packed episode, right? Jam-packed. I think we got 6 stories. We got 3 resources. So, folks, buckle up and stay tuned. Now, we're going to start with that said, we published over the weekend. Now, I'm so glad, Kevin, you're a
Yes,
fellow Breaking Bad fan.
absolutely. I love Breaking Bad.
All right. Good. I'm glad.
I
So,
learned some of my tricks from Mr.
not Mr. White,
No, Heisman.
Heisenberg. One the
Heisenberg.
same. I'm going to have to keep my eye on you, Kevin, now that you said that. All right. Really quick. Let's see. We dropped this newsletter with that said over the weekend. It's our almost weekly newsletter. Breaking Bad was indeed our theme as we talked about that train heist episode from the classic series that is Breaking Bad. Now, on a related note, though, cargo theft is on the rise. But never fear, we've got a great live stream coming up this Thursday, which dives into and unpacks this awful trend of cargo theft, freight theft, you name it. In fact, Amanda or Catherine, let's drop the link to our Thursday live stream with our friends at Tive. But anyway, in this episode or this edition of With That Said, we shared news related to that ILA and the USMX impasse. That September 30th deadline is fast approaching. We talked about the U.S. manufacturing sector, which continues its malaise. We'll touch on more about that in just a minute. The Costco business model and how Vin Vashista says everyone needs a hot dog and drink special to get folks coming in. How about that? Interesting farm tech updates, all that, and a whole bunch more. So check out this edition of With That Said. Kevin, do you remember the train heist episode on Breaking Bad when they took all that methylene from that tank?
Yeah, I tell you, they always come up with some interesting ways to come back.
You're right. I mean, every episode, the character acting, little
Yeah.
stories, little twists on the the journey of Walter White and Jesse and the whole gang. I tell you, it is classic TV. And if you haven't checked out Breaking Bad, you ought to do so. There's a new sequel coming out soon. All right.
Yeah,
Hey, speaking. Go ahead, Kevin.
No, I was just saying, we were just talking pre-show. We were talking about Better Call Saul.
Yes.
I was kind of lukewarm on that, so I'm looking forward to see the new one.
Well, and we shared that sentiment. I enjoyed the first couple of seasons of Better Call Saul, and then I kind of got left behind. So we'll see that. We'll see the new one. Speaking of, I mentioned Spain earlier, and look here, Maria back with us. Hola, cheers from Madrid, beautiful
Hola.
Madrid. Great to see you back with us, Maria. And Jeremy's back with us from Wisconsin via LinkedIn. Wonderful to see you. I think you're a proud member of the manufacturing industry. And one last note before we can keep moving on. I mentioned that Thursday live stream. Folks, cargo theft, according to some accounts, is up almost 50% year over year, right? 2024 over 2023. Join us Thursday live for what you need to know as a supply chain leader and what you can do about it. All right. So, Kevin, let's see here. We've got more resources, folks. Hey, let's talk procurement for a minute because it is cool again. Good thing. We've got an outstanding event coming up with the team over at Omnia Partners tomorrow. Now, what is Omnia Partners, you may ask? Well, they are your ally in the purchasing process. You'll love me for that. Hey, really, but kidding aside, it's an innovative group purchasing organization, GPO, that's changing the game. We have I've enjoyed a variety of shows with Omnia Partners for a couple of years now. Join us for this live webinar tomorrow that will focus on how leading organizations are leveraging GPOs in brand new ways to produce big-time outcomes. You can register today. We're dropping a link right there. And if you can't make the live version of Tuesday's webinar or Thursday's live stream, never fear. The on-demand recording will be made available to all of our registrants. All right, Kevin, before I ask you about digital transformers, I want to welcome in also Nelson from beautiful Brazil via LinkedIn. Nelson, let us know what the weather down in your neck of the woods is like. Hopefully it's getting cooler like it is here.
Well, no. Remember, they're getting into the summer. Actually, I was talking to a colleague from Argentina, and they were talking about how it was. She was upset because it was turning summer and she loved the winter. So
I completely forgot.
So you got to straighten yourself up there. I'm here to keep you straight.
I got to study up on my global weather patterns for sure. But hey, all that aside, Nelson, great to have you here. Folks, as I may have mentioned, we dropped the links to these resources, all of them right there in the chat. So you're one click away. We try to make it easy for our very busy, bright, innovative global audience. Okay, Kevin, one more thing before we get into our first story here today. I love this, by the way, this rebrand of Digital Transformers. Looks so good.
Yeah. I like to see how the audience like. You know, we're always about change, dealing with and keeping up change. So we got to, drink our own Kool-Aid, so to speak.
I like mine with extra sugar, Kevin, back in the day. Anyway, hey, tell us about this latest Digital Transformers episode featuring Dagnum P.I., I love that name, and Court Welty. Tell us more.
So, what was really interesting about this and all is about how business economics is changing, right? Through tokenization. They were talking about how physical assets are now being represented by virtual tokens, and how businesses really need to understand how to operate in both worlds seamlessly. And the community, the entire business community, is really collaborating on establishing best practices in this. So one of the key topics we talked about was a hackathon, and how that is being used to revolutionize digital supply chains by using blockchain and tokenization. So I would recommend anyone that's in business to take a look, because you're either going to deal with this or you're going to be left behind.
Oh man, you're so right. Folks, you can tune in. You can find Digital Transformers wherever you get your podcast. You can check out that latest episode and take Kevin's advice, as I've learned. We got to learn something new every day, or certainly be left behind in the dustbin of business history. Hey, Leah Luton, hello to you, mother. Tuned in from Aiken, South Carolina. She says, hey to Kevin as well. Hey, Kevin.
Hey, Leah.
All right, good stuff. And we're dropping links to that episode to make it even easier for y'all to find. Okay, Kevin, we gotta get to work. Let's talk about the manufacturing industry. It's going to be a big common theme for today's edition of The Buzz. We're going to start by getting an update on recent August data that's been released about the U.S. manufacturing industry. So check this out. According to monthly data shared by the Institute for Supply Management, ISM, via our friends at Reuters, the manufacturing industry in the States, well, it accounts for over 10% of the economy. So when it is vibrant and robust, the rest of the economy, we all know. But it's still contracting, at least according to ISM's figures, for what they count to be the 5th month in a row. Now, there was a little bit of a bump, a little bit of good news, a little bit of a bump from July to August, at least according to ISM's data set. Other observations included they saw a decline in new orders. They saw a rise in inventory. They saw that manufacturers are paying more for raw materials and other inputs. In fact, this has been the case for 8 straight months. Manufacturing employment has also shrank some. Now, in a separate report released by the U.S. Commerce Department, construction spending and single-family home building starts also decreased in July, which, of course, is another critical sector of the U.S. economy, right? Home starts, construction, you name it. Now, I'm going to wrap, though, Kevin, before I get your take, on some good news, because interest rate cuts are indeed on the horizon and could be announced as early as next week, perhaps the start of several cuts through the end of the year. Kevin, your thoughts here.
So first, I want to state that everything in moderation is the best way forward, okay? And the other thing, on the other side of this news, is that the whole world is like staring at the United States, because we've accomplished that soft landing with our economy. So, you see that nothing in these news there's no big changes. They're all moderate changes. So maybe we should expect that if we're going to have this so-called soft landing. And a hallmark of environment today is rapid and continuous change.
Yeah.
But maybe, and so this also highlights the importance of a data-driven decision making. So you have to plug into tools like this so that you can make better decisions about your own business.
That's right. Well said, Kevin. And not too high, not too low. I can appreciate your appreciation for the meandering kind of in the middle. Yeah. And this soft landing you talk about. Now, some folks may not know you're a former naval aviator. So as you were talking about that, I just could envision you coming back from a mission. You've had the left wing blown off, half the tail's missing, but you're still able to get that plane on the ground. Is that right, Kevin?
Yeah, but in the Navy, you don't do any soft landings. It's all bam.
Right. You got to catch that wire on that tail. When I was at Shaw Air Force Base, my first permanent duty station in the Air Force, sometimes naval aircraft would certainly would land at Shaw for various reasons, and you'd always know because it wasn't this shallow approach. It was they're catching that tail hook even though there's no wire there, straight down like they're on a carrier deck. Anyway, hey, really quick, Karai Koze is with us here, flying back from Germany. He's catching the buzz midday up in Boston.
Okay.
Good day and week to the entire crew at Supply Chain Now. He says, good to see you and Kevin in action again. Hey, Karai, I would love, I've seen some of the footage of you rubbing elbows with some of the world's leaders. I think you were speaking at a couple of different events. What's your take on this economic news, in particular, the manufacturing industry? You've got your finger on the pulse for sure. Let's see here. Hey, Tom is tuned in. He agrees with you, Kevin.
Okay. Thanks, Tom.
Great to see you, Tom, via X. I got to get used to saying X instead of Twitter. I think the whole world does. Hey, speaking of Hollywood rock and roll stars, Dagnum PI is with us in the comments.
Hey, Dagnum, what's up?
And Dagnum says modular construction is going to help with home cost and the home building, the whole construction industry. Wonderful. And he gives a suggestion that we got to check out Nimble AI robots. That's a good tip.
Okay.
Good tip. We'll have to check out the great folks over at Nimble. Okay, Kevin, we got to keep moving. Gosh, we're 20 minutes in.
No, 1 second. Didn't we have someone from Brazil on the line?
Yes.
I was kind of curious what channel they're using because X was, shut down in Brazil.
Really? That's right. I saw that over the weekend. Well, so Nelson's tuned in via LinkedIn. So quirks and all, LinkedIn, because LinkedIn can be kind of shaky sometimes, right? But Nelson is tuned in via LinkedIn. Okay, we got to hit the second story here, right? Let me pop this up.
Okay.
So number 2 here, item number 2, as shared here by our friends at Digital Commerce 360. Manufacturers are leading their ecosystems to digitize. It's nothing new, right?
Yep,
but those leading these transformations should keep a few things in mind. Hey, Kevin, why don't you tell us more?
Oh, you want me to tell you more? Of course. Well, one of the most important aspects that they bring up is that manufacturing leaders really need to partner with their suppliers in the development of these digital supply chains. Dictating requirements to them is not best practice. You don't just tell them what to do. You got to collaborate with them. So put together a framework to shape your partner's expectations. There's a great example from Micron Technology in the article. You should also develop technology plans with your partners. Okay, this will help your supply chain partners access shared information. And that shared information is going to give everyone in your ecosystem visibility into the end-to-end supply chain, and set shared goals to support greater transparency and accountability. This will allow your joint customers to trace goods through every step of its journey. So these are great recommendations and best practices, actually, for building your supply chain ecosystem.
Yes. Traceability, aka provenance. Provenance is so really important. Yes. Those aren't synonyms. I should rephrase that, but provenance is incredibly important, as the pandemic has taught us. But I would add one more thing, Kevin.
Yeah.
This may sound counterintuitive, but I would suggest that one big priority that will help drive successful supply chain digitization, I can never say that word right, and transformation efforts is invest in your supplier relationships, IRL, right? Don't just rely on social. Don't just rely on email. Don't just rely on Zoom. Get out in person, walk the floor with them, learn and get to know their organization and their team members, including knowing what is smart, good business for your suppliers, right? Know what motivates them and what they don't want to do, right? There's new possibilities, new ideas, and critical learnings that come out of those conversations, because I would argue transparent, resilient, real, with emphasis on real relationships across the ecosystem will pay off big dividends on those good days, but more importantly, on those bad days that come with any transformation, really any
Two-way.
business.
Always be two-way also.
That is right.
Two-way communications.
Two-way. Let's see here. Sean's tuned in from Canada. Welcome via LinkedIn. Let us know what your take on any of these topics. Now, I'm going to share Karaz's comment here, going back on manufacturing. Yeah, I think I can share it. We're not cut off too much. I'll stand up a little bit straighter here. Let's see. Karaz says manufacturing is key to the U.S., and we need about 10x more capacity in the next decade. Think reglobalization. So smooth landing or landing of any kind is key to avoid setbacks that will cost us so much more. Manufacturing and supply chain need investment, increased capabilities, and jobs created, not the opposite. Karaz says he's all for low interest rates in this context. Now, Matt, no matter how we land, as long as we survive the landing with no major losses. So as long as we have our wings, our landing gear, our cockpit, Kevin, our tail feathers, all that, Kevin, right?
Yeah. The other thing is that in today's world, actually in any world, isolationism is not the way to move forward. I mean,
right.
there was a lot of pushback on globalization, and I think it was wrongly placed. You know, this is one society, so we have to operate in conjunction with everyone else.
Yes. Well said. Yeah. One last note there. As we all of us know here, is we got to get past this election. Let's get past some of these interest rate cuts. I'll be really curious to see where we are end of year, first part of next year. And we'll see. We'll keep our finger on the pulse, of course. We got some other great comments here. Big Show Bob Bova is back with us. Big Show Bob Bova. It is amazing, he says, what we learn when we walk the warehouse before we start our implementations. He's talking about his team. The most value we can offer is when our new customers let us in and provide insight as to the applications that they need streamlining. Trust, trust, trust. You know, trust is, it sounds so, I'm making it too simple, but man, trust moves mountains indeed. Jeremy says a physical presence is much overlooked in today's day and age of technology. When we talk about getting with your ecosystem, especially, he says, in manufacturing, build rapport with the operators on the floor who build the product. That is right. Go to the Gemba, Jeremy. That's where that value is created. Excellent point there. Excellent point there. All right, Kevin, we have got a full, we're halfway done, and we still got a lot more news to get to. You ready? You buckled in, my co-pilot?
Let's do this.
All right, so let's see, where are we going next? This is item number 3. Let me pull this up.
Supply and demand chain executive,
I think you're right. So here, shared by our friends at Supply and Demand Chain Executive, AI and digitization continue to impact supply chain visibility, and more importantly, I would argue, the solutions and success that visibility provides. Kevin, tell us more.
So that word keeps coming up, doesn't it? Digitization.
It does.
Okay. But along with the challenge of, digitizing all your processes, one of the biggest common challenges is aligning people, processes, and systems against the goals and the anticipated challenges. And talent shortage. I mean, this is not lack of robots. This is lack of people. Is the most pressing issue. And this was reported from Deloitte and the Manufacturing Institute. It says as many as 3.8 million new workers are needed in the manufacturing industry by 2033. And as you're bringing in more people, you need to eliminate information silos between those individuals. These silos and the data inconsistencies erode the gains that you may make with respect to digital transformation. The disconnected silos, both online and offline, really make it difficult for anyone to get a big picture view of what's happening across the company and the supply chain. And what's more important than the technology is the communication among the people. And if you're not all have the same view, access to the same data, then all you're going to have is arguments amongst the people. So get rid of those silos.
That's right. That's right. Get rid of the silos. Try to find ways of rooting friction out of the operation, out of the organization, out of the ecosystem. Really, really important. Well said there, Kevin. Communication is often key, right?
Yes.
Timeless advice, easier said than done. That's a weird. Is that a I'm not sure if that pun is intended. Easier said than done when it comes to communication. I don't know, folks. But good stuff there. I'll add in. So T Squared likes to make the reference to Rudy. If you remember, Rudy, as he has taught us, was George Jetson's computer, high tech computer. And of course, there's all sorts of Rudys now found in manufacturing plants around the globe. Hey, Sean says, Sean says the commercial airline maintenance industry is in the process of defining what data to share and with whom when it comes to aircraft parts. The how will be via blockchain. And Sean says, keep an eye on the Independent Data Consortium for Aviation, IDCA. I will keep an eye on that, Sean. That's a great tip.
You know, we actually, last year, I believe, we did quite a few shows on how the Telecommunications Industry Association was also leveraging blockchain to provide better security in the ICT supply chain.
Yep.
So blockchain and also known as digital ledger technology are now becoming foundational to all industries, especially in managing their supply chain and providing that visibility.
Yeah, well said. Big things still to come there, leveraging blockchain technology for sure. And Sean, thank you for calling out the maintenance industry. I think folks in maintenance, whether it's aircraft or truck fleets or facility maintenance, none of those folks get enough recognition, but they keep us all around the globe, global supply chain moving forward for sure. Great to have you here, Sean. Now, hey, going back to that last article, though, I want to add one more thing because part of that article from our friends at Supply and Demand Chain Executive talked about the downside of digital transformation. And we got to be honest here, right? Jobs will be eliminated, for like innovative technology always does. Think of the previous technology revolutions, but let me share this example here. We're talking about this pre-show and I found this graphic. Check this out. So this is a snapshot of a Hershey's Kisses, chocolate Kisses production line back in the early 20th century, where, as I recall from my homework, there was about a 12, 14-year period where humans rolled Hershey Kisses all day long, right? Now, as we all know, that is done by automation and machinery. And imagine that job, sitting there and rolling hundreds of Hershey Kisses a day. Kevin, my fingers are hurting just by looking at this picture.
Yeah, it's all about it's not about getting rid of humans doing jobs. It's about elevating the jobs that humans do.
Well, so you're beating me to the punch. Right?
All right.
Because far more jobs and opportunities are going to be created in this golden age of technology that we're all living in. But as me and Kevin have talked about plenty of times here, and as I try to embrace every day, folks that raise their hand and they're willing to learn something new and apply it and take on new roles and opportunities, blessed are those folks, and blessed are those folks that will have plenty of opportunities. But if you really don't want to, if you want to do this all day, every day, and not learn anything else, hey, I love you. I'll give you a big hug, but you will be at risk of being dispositioned, right? And that's just the nature of the world. But plenty of data studies out there talk about how many new jobs and opportunities will be created, far more than lost due to technology. All right, so let's see here. Let's talk about this new blog series. This is exciting. So, Kevin, I don't know if you even knew this, but we have launched early this year, a new ongoing blog series at supplychainnow.com. How about that?
It's called change. Keep moving, baby.
There you go. There you go. But check this out. And you can, again, find this article and many others at supplychainnow.com. In one of our latest editions, we're talking about transportation management. Now, did you know Gartner says that the global TMS industry, right, transportation management system, TMS industry, is expected to reach $2.11 billion by the end of 2024. That is a 60% increase from the industry's value in 2019. Now, we all know there's a multitude of reasons that shippers got to have a sound approach to transportation management, right? Operational efficiency. Hey, you got to make money. Profitability is kind of important. Regulatory compliance that continues to change and evolve and ask more. Sustainability that everybody wants more of and more folks are willing to pay for. And you got to make the customer happy, right? And it's easier to do that if you can see your stuff and make where it is and make more decisions. But
right.
Check this out. So I dropped this, was sharing this over the weekend, Kevin, this blog article about transportation management and TMS and some of the shifts there. And our dear friend, Guy Couton, shared what I thought was a spot on comment. He said, quote, I think the key part mentioned, changing customer expectations. This has transformed TMS into a much more sophisticated digital solution. Throw the potential for adding reverse and returns logistics into the equation, and that complexity is only going to continue to grow. Supply chain execution solutions, meaning WMS, TMS, and the like, will only address a wider array of needs, much of which is driven by consumer expectations. That's right. End quote. And Kevin, as consumers, we're practitioners, but as consumers, we all want our stuff, and we expect it in not 3 days, no more 2 days. Almost 1 day has become the standard expectation. And in some cases, folks are getting it same day. And all that is driving plenty. So I got to ask you, Kevin, are you tracking where your stuff is from Amazon here today? You tracking your orders?
So, we just had some work done on our house, right? And some of the raw material, let's say, had to be delivered to our home. And, you get these email alerts and text messages. Yeah. We're going to deliver it at so-and-so time and on this particular day. And you plan your day around receiving it, being at home at that particular time so that you can open.
You really need those stocks, Kevin.
Right. And then like 10 minutes before it's supposed to rise, we're looking forward to seeing you tomorrow because there's been a last minute change in the delivery schedule. So that's a information or data silo problem. So going back to what we were saying, in order to make sure your customers are happy, because I wasn't happy about that, you need to eliminate your silos so that you don't give your customers the wrong information when they are tracking and preparing.
Oh, right.
So the role of transportation management technology empowering the supply chain success cannot be overstated. Okay, embrace the innovation so that you can enhance efficiency, ensure regulatory compliance, and meet your customers' demand. Make it easier, not harder, for the employees and your customers to success, and stay happy each and every day.
Love that, Kevin. And, going back to what you were describing, I got a kick out of how you're describing you getting updates on delays in shipping. Back in the day when you and I both were far younger, you know how we got our updates on shipping, right? By opening the mailbox once a day, looking in there to see if it's in there.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. All right. Let's see here. Where are we going next? I think we're going to this interesting article from NVIDIA.
NVIDIA. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So there's some cool startups, as this blog article speaks on, that are delivering big time gains, more and more of them on factory floors. Kevin, tell us more.
So NVIDIA, I mean, you've recognize the name because they make some of the most advanced microprocessors in the world, leading in visualization, artificial intelligence, and many other advanced technology areas. But NVIDIA Metropolis is used specifically for vision artificial intelligence. And they have this called a Jetson platform for edge AI. And that's right on the edge of your assembly line. The cameras gather data on assembly lines, and then the systems use that information to train models on NVIDIA accelerated computing. Okay, and that enables them to monitor activities on the line. Many of you have probably heard of digital twin technology, where you have a virtual copy of what's happening in the physical world. So this way you can have your physical line running and a digital twin of that assembly line running in the virtual world and being able to compare. That gives you analytics to help visualize production flow hour by hour or minute by minute. And this can send rapid alerts when production slips, or give you, some foresight into if you're going to miss your predicted targets and how to correct that before it actually happens. So this solution, leveraging NVIDIA Jetson Orin, really validates the transformative potential of this technology when it comes to manufacturing and supply chain management.
And one technical observation, Kevin, deeply technical observation.
You were very technical. I understand that.
Is, hey, how about the marketing leader that came up with Metropolis and Jetson as these product names? I think that you had me at that. Futuristic, pop culture-ish, I'll call them, and catchy, and at least based on early returns with benefits too. So I'll tell you, is it? I know NVIDIA's had a little. I am not a stock expert or an economist. Let me make that disclaimer. And there's plenty of folks happy with NVIDIA, and there's some folks that aren't happy with NVIDIA. But man, they've got the Midas touch, it seems like, here recently, Kevin, huh?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Maybe there's something with that Jetson show that we missed when we were young.
No kidding. I should have been taking notes. All right, folks. As with all of the articles that we touch on here on the Buzz, we're dropping a link right there in the chat. You can, don't take our views on the topics or the subject matter. Take a read for yourself and let us know what you think. I have been known to be wrong once or a million times, Kevin.
Let me talk to Amanda about that.
Oh, she'll give you plenty of documentation. All right.
Don't ask Lisa how many times I've been wrong.
Okay, I won't. I will not. We're going to finish on, I think, a really cool note here today. And we're going to touch on this story of how Auburn University is providing its students with AI and manufacturing skills via a new program that specifically is looking to help those from underserved communities. Kevin, tell us more.
So first of all, I'd like to compliment you on highlighting something that's happening in Auburn.
Hey, I'm not a Bama fan. If I was, it'd be a lot tougher, I imagine. But hey, this is for a great cause. I love it.
But yes, absolutely. So Auburn is really empowering high school students, okay, with AI and manufacturing skills. Okay, they're starting where you need to start when they're young. And this is courtesy of a $200,000 grant from the National Science Foundation Rapid Response Research Program called RAPID. So Auburn faculty from the College of Engineering and College of Education just completed the first summer camp aimed at students from underserved communities. So they're teaching artificial intelligence and applying that to manufacturing. What a great revolution, because manufacturing has a long history of being slow to adopt technology. And this effort culminates in a 1-week summer camp that welcomes 33 high school students to get hands-on experience and a unique opportunity to explore the future of smart manufacturing. This is a brand new summer camp. I wish they had something like this when I was, what it was, canoes and swimming and running away from the counselors, right? And on top of that, 10 high school teachers also had the opportunity to learn more so they can be in a much better position to teach their students. I mean, if you can't imagine it, you can't be it. So I think this bodes well for the future of manufacturing and the future of our next generation.
Yeah, well said. I echo all that you shared there, and kudos to the folks over at Auburn University for investing in this. Of course, National Science Foundation for empowering and funding and making this happen. Hopefully, we'll see more and more of these initiatives, because you're really serving a variety of purposes.
Yeah,
right on this. You're creating lots of value. You're addressing the manufacturing talent pipeline that we touched on earlier, which is there's a big dearth in terms of finding more and more workers there. You're addressing the tech talent pipeline, but most importantly, you're investing in these kids and ideally hoping to create opportunities in their minds of maybe some new career possibilities or a whole bunch more. But regardless, you're equipping them with knowledge, and that is always the right move to make in my book. So good stuff there, Kevin.
And what's more important is we're investing in humans, right?
That's right.
Human capital. And you can't go wrong by starting early with teaching people about how to apply technology to business, in this case, manufacturing.
That's right. And as I think Amanda captured something you said earlier, Kevinism, it's about elevating the jobs that humans do. And of course, these initiatives that you just touched on and shared from Auburn is helping to do that for sure.
Yeah.
All right. I got to tell you this, though, because how you position that story on the front end as if my allegiance to Clemson would prevent me from sharing any Auburn. A lot of folks say Auburn is Clemson without a lake. I don't know if you've ever heard that.
Oh,
Kevin.
No, I hadn't heard that.
But anyway, so back in the day, and I just so happened to meet Cam Newton when I was visiting my friend Enrique several months back.
Okay.
Cam Newton has gotten involved in the logistics industry. Really cool model there. But anyway, I saw Cam Newton play in person in Auburn when Auburn and Clemson met back in, I want to say it's 2014, right? So about 10 years ago. It was the same year that Cam Newton and the Auburn Tigers won the national championship, right? They went undefeated, as I recall. Anyway, get this, Kevin. It's August. It's Alabama heat, and it's a night game, so we're tailgating all day.
Yeah.
And Kevin, if it was 95 degrees, then it was at least 127 degrees. I was melting away. I bet I lost 17 pounds just through the tailgating process.
You had to refresh it with that adult beverage. I'm sure.
Know it, Kevin. You know it. That was back before kids. So yeah. But Kevin, so we were just melting away. Well, me and a buddy were new to the Auburn campus, and we were just dying. And we stumbled into this livestock arena. Now, when you think of livestock arena, you don't think of maybe a departure from Alabama summer heat, but they kept this temperature like 65 degrees in this arena, I guess, for the wildlife.
For the livestock, yeah.
So we just plopped down with our beverages and watched this livestock show and enjoyed some of the most frigid AC. In fact, I didn't even want to go to the game. I had a respite from the heat. And anyway, and of course, Auburn would win and beat Clemson in a nail biter. As I recall, Clemson missed a an extra point opportunity near the end of that game, and that was one of many breaks that Auburn squad that year would get on their way to winning the national championship. All right.
Well, while I just want to say that Navy won their season opener. So, woohoo, 1-0, baby.
Hey, congrats to the midshipmen, right?
Yes.
Your alma mater there at the Naval Academy. Let's see here. Sean has a comment here. Whoa, this is a big one. I'm just gonna read this one off. So Sean says, quote, look in the mailbox to see if my parcel has arrived. You got a kick out of that. In aircraft MRO, maintenance repair operations, folks, if you're wondering what the acronym stands for, the repair stations find out they have a component to work on when it shows up on the dock. No advance notice. The paperwork will say who sent it, hopefully, and the reason for removal will be inoperable. So it's pretty vague.
Doesn't work, yeah.
As Sean continues here, of course, the airline that sent the component wants it back ASAP. Leveraging blockchain and industry standard communications, we will be digitally linking airline ERP systems to repair station ERP systems. Sean, that sounds like $1 billion idea there. And I tell you, Kevin, in general, and not just a repair side, but just airline companies and everything that has to go right in order to, for air travel to be so incredibly safe that it has become. It is fascinating. Every time I fly, I'm captivated with everything that's going on the tarmac. All the parts, the supplies moving.
Yeah,
it's just a fascinating sector, I think, as Sean touches on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Sean is really showing how you have to open your mind to new things so that you can apply them and don't be, overrun by this change.
Yep. And, one other thing related to MRO, as we had our friends from Verison doing some really big things in the MRO space, amongst other things, eliminating all the duplicates that can be found that really inflate inventory around the world. There's tons and tons of opportunity for improvement and enhancement and profitability and other efficiencies in the MRO space. So, Sean, appreciate you being here today and sharing your perspective. And this is no monkey business on Twitter. No, I was not drunk at the Auburn game.
I was not drunk at the Auburn game.
After the game, a different story. But no, I'll tell you, it was so incredibly hot that day. That 65-degree AC. It just I didn't care. It was livestock they were pulling through. It could have been cartoons. It could have been anything else. It was a break from the heat. That is right.
I've melted a few times in Alabama heat, so I understand.
Oh man! All right, so and I'm not going to tell you what Amanda's saying behind the scenes. Amanda, you got to leave all those skeletons in the closet. Okay, so Kevin, before we leave here, we've been really efficient getting through 6 stories, 3 resources, and tons of stupid Scott stories. So we have been very efficient here, Kevin. Let's make sure folks know what is coming up with Digital Transformers. You've got some great interviews and episodes coming up.
Yeah. Actually, at the end of next episode this month, we're going to invite or have the CEO of Intrana, Court Welty, back on the show. I know that we just had him with Dagnum PI, and they were talking about the hackathon, but he's going to talk about how Intrana is really pioneering the revolution of linking real-world assets, media, and traditional financial products into a really secure and, as they put it, chain-agnostic platform. So it's just, we're just talking about MRO and trying to track things, where's my stuff?
Interoperability.
Yeah, that's what they are doing. They're linking all this stuff together and bringing in traditional financial products. So it's all about the business of asset tokenization. Okay. And the other part of that is really knowing your customer, right? And preventing the bad guys from using your process to launder money. Okay. So this is how you really engage with the world of blockchain and digital ledger technology. So it's a great follow-up to just about everything we've been talking about.
I love it. What I'm hearing you say, beyond the interoperability, which is so important in our fractured industries around the globe, is teaching more of these technology platforms to be fluent in more languages, so they can all work nicer and more successfully in the grand sandbox.
Get rid of those, those silos. You can't afford to have data and information silos.
Yes, silo busting, one of our favorite pastimes here at Supply Chain Now, for sure. And no monkey business. Hey, thanks for being here. I love that X handle name, by the way. They say Court Welty is a great man, great face for his company. Would love to see this. Well, hey, tune in to Digital Transformers, NMB, wherever you find your podcast, and stay tuned for that upcoming episode.
One thing also I want to highlight. I mean, we always have a great audience on these shows.
That's right.
But I've also noticed there's a lot of crossover with this, in the audience today with respect to traditional logistics and supply chain and Industry 4.0 and Web 3.0 technologists that are creating these, delivering brand new value to the traditional supply chain, logistics, manufacturing industries. Yep. I love this cross-pollination.
I'm with you. I think it is absolutely, it kind of goes back to the last point we were making. I think it's critical for the industry to move forward, creating opportunities for all while also enabling more technological innovation that changes how global supply chain and the global technology world does business. So good stuff there. All right. So Kevin, again, find Digital Transformers wherever y'all get your podcasts. Of course, you can find Supply Chain Now the same. Hey, check out the Supply Chain Now blog series. Let us know some topics you'd like to hear about. You can find all that on our website at supplychainnow.com. And Kevin, we're double checking the X name. Does NMB have the X name correct there?
That is correct. Digital TransX on X.
I like that. It's like your monster truck voice. Good stuff. All right, folks. Thanks for being here today. I appreciate everyone's contributions. The old timers that have been with us for quite some time, like our dear friend,
your dear friend.
T squared. Had a little Monday moment there. My apologies. Or some of the newcomers, like Sean and NMB, no monkey business, that stopped by. Thanks for being here. No, we couldn't hit everybody's comments. Kevin, always a pleasure to knock out the show with you here today.
Fun as always. And so let's do this again, maybe next month.
No doubt. Big thanks to, I think we already have you booked, whether you like it or not. Big thanks to Catherine and Amanda behind the scenes that help make production happen every single day. And folks, most importantly, thanks to all of you out there making industry happen, changing the game for so many, creating opportunities for all, and being here to share your perspective with us here on The Buzz. Appreciate you being here. So with all of that said, Scott Luton challenging all of y'all out there on behalf of the Supply Chain Now team, hey, do good, give forward, be the change that's needed. And we'll see you next time right back here at Supply Chain Now. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everyone.